Man, I knew I should have walked there.
Stop walking so slowly. This is why I hate old people like you.
My name is Kiyoshi Atsuho. I'm 25 and I just started my new job a month ago. Before I started working at my current workplace, I was in an insurance industry, but the demanding workload got really stressful and I had to find a way out. My superiors were demanding me to stay and telling me that I wouldn't be able to survive elsewhere if I couldn't handle the job. But enough was enough, and I decided to find a new job for my sake. Thankfully, there was a company looking for a new sales hire close by and…
Your name is Kiyoshi Atsuho, huh? Then I shall call you Kiyo.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. People used to call me Atsukiyo too.
That's funny. You're hired.
What?
Sir, you need to take this seriously.
I'm sorry, so why did you want this job?
Well, I was raised by my grandmother, and so I wanted to do something where I could help out the elderly. That's why I got a job in the insurance industry, but the conditions there were terrible. Some people were even forcing elderly clients to sign on to insurance packages that they didn't even need. I had to get myself out of there. That's when I heard about you guys and how you guys were planning on starting a retirement home soon. I wanted to use my experience in sales while continuing to work hard helping the elderly, and I thought the job here would be a perfect opportunity. I don't,
Sorry, sir. He's probably just impressed with you. I'm sure he wants to hire you. He's just afraid that I'll yell at him if he says anything.
Okay?
I'm sure you're going to get hired, but we'll send the official contract over at a later date. Thank you so much for coming today.
No, thank you for having me. That was a weird interview, but maybe you have to be kinda weird and out there to run a big company like that? I went home a bit confused. A few days later, whoa, they actually accepted me? And so I was able to get an offer from one of the fastest growing companies in the world, Orchid. It was a big company, so my workload increased tenfold from before. But the work here is much more fun and fulfilling than before. And I could tell that the people really cared about helping the elderly here.
Alright, listen up. I'm sure you lot know this by now, but we're gonna have to take a big leap and enter into the welfare industry by opening up a retirement home. I want to select a few of you to man the reception desk there, so I'll notify you guys of my selection at a later date. And if anyone wants to volunteer for that position, let me know in advance. I'll try to accommodate for your preferences.
Finally! My grandmother raised me since I was 10 after my parents passed away. She passed away as well last year and I couldn't do anything to pay her back. But this is my chance to help out the elderly in a meaningful way and do to them what I couldn't do for my grandma. So I applied for one of the open positions at a new retirement home. They said that they were going to reveal their selections next January and all I could do was wait and hope for the best. 3 months quickly passed by since then and this year was nearing its end. Selections were supposed to be announced next month and that made me really nervous. Man, I knew I should have walked there.
Stop walking so slowly. This is why I hate old people like you.
How could she treat her like that? Wait, what? The woman who was yelling at the elderly lady on the side of the road was my former boss, Miss Hambara. She is one of the reasons why I quit my previous job. She forces elderly clients to sign on to unnecessary contracts by lying to them and telling them that it was good for them. Her sales numbers were high, but her clients' family members often called her office to void the contract. Those working for her were left cleaning up after her. But the higher-ups considered Miss Hambara a talented saleswoman because of her sales numbers, and they completely ignored the fact that she was depleting their well-being of their subordinates with her reckless practices. She was being rewarded while everyone else was being blamed for all their voided contracts that she produces. I've got to go and help that woman. I drove my car to my boss and the elderly woman she was with, and rolled down my window. If you'd like, you can get on. That's when Miss Hambara looked at me and said,
Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you so much.
And she came rushing onto the backseat of my car. I wasn't surprised that she didn't recognize me, but her shamelessness did impress me. I got out of my car and I stopped her from getting on. Then I said, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the lady over there. Come on board.
What? Wait, are you sure?
Of course I am. My only mission at that moment was to save the elderly woman from the freezing cold. That's when traffic started to clear up and the car started moving along the road more swiftly. Do you want me to raise the heat?
It's fine. This is perfect. Thank you so much for helping me out there.
No worries. I didn't want to leave you out there alone. So, where were you headed?
Well, one of my granddaughters is sick, and they have a baby. Her husband is on a business trip, and he's doing his best to get back as early as possible, but I thought I'd go and help them out while we waited for him to get back. but I don't have a license. I thought walking there would be the best option.
I see. Well, I'm glad that I could help. Could you help me get to your granddaughter's place? I'll drop you off there.
Thank you so much for everything.
No worries. She was a very elegant lady and she looked amazing for her age. Her back was straight and she wore expensive clothes. She reminded me of the CEO's wife of my old place. And when we arrived at her granddaughter's house, my suspicions were confirmed. Their house was massive. There's a bit of distance from the gate to the front door. Do you want me to drive you up to the front?
No, that's all right. You've already done enough. I'll be fine. Thank you very much. Could I have your business card by chance?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to introduce myself, didn't I? My name is Atsuho. I work for a company called Orchid. I introduced myself and handed her my business card. That's when she smiled and said,
My name is Chiyo Kasaka. Thank you so much for everything, Mr. Atsuho.
And she started walking towards the front door. Man, who is this person really? Wait, I forgot that I gotta get to the station! It was 2 p.m. and the snow was starting to melt. The roads were clearing up as well. I'm supposed to have a day off of work today, but a few employees got stuck in traffic on our way back from a business trip thanks to their snow. The CEO texted everyone asking if anyone owned a car with the winter tires and if they could pick up the employees, and since I had exactly that, I decided to volunteer to help the group out. Kyo! Sir, Miss Rorin, sorry to make you wait. Oh, nonsense. Thank you so much for coming. The taxis weren't running. We had no other way to get back. Where are the others?
They rode the other car that arrived earlier.
Oh, I see. Then I'll drive you guys back. I thought there was gonna be more people, but I can't believe the only ones left are the CEO and his sister. I have to make sure I drive safe. I felt a lot of pressure while driving that day. If you could tell me how to get to your place, that'd be great.
Yep.
How are the road conditions? I want to get home as soon as possible. Well, everyone's driving slowly because of the snow, so the roads aren't very crowded, but traffic does move slow. It took me an extra 30 minutes just to get to the station on my way here. I see. Is something wrong?
Well, his wife is sick right now, and his daughter is still young, so he wants to get back ASAP.
Uh-huh.
What's up?
Well, I picked up someone on the way to the station and drove them to her granddaughter's home, but she said that she was going to care for a sick mom, too.
Wow, what a coincidence.
She also said that the husband of the mother was on a business trip, and that she was trying to get back as soon as possible.
That sounds exactly like our situation. Did you get her name?
She said her name was Chiyo Kasaka? What?
Oh, you guys are finally here. We've been waiting for you. Oh wait, you're Atsuho, aren't you? I knew you worked for Mr. Aran.
I can't believe this is happening. That's right, the elderly woman that I helped was my CEO's wife's grandmother. So, how's Atsumi doing? And how's Harumi?
Atsumi just went to sleep. She's been taking care of Harumi all day. She's still very sick, but the doctor's coming in an hour, so don't worry. Harumi should wake up from her nap any minute now.
I'm gonna go and see Harumi.
Don't be too loud, alright? But anyway, thank you so much, Mr. Atsuho. Atsumi, my brother's wife, is a bit of an overworker. She should have told us that she wasn't feeling well before we left, but yeah, she's a strong and resilient kid. But I guess that worked against her this time. Anyway, thanks to you, Aran and I were able to get here and help Atsumi and Harumi out. Thank you so much.
No, please don't mention it. I would have done this for anyone, really. I just wanted to help out the elderly any way I can.
Say, your grandmother raised you, right?
That's right. I should have taken better care of her, but she ended up passing away last year. And if I were to utilize my skills in sales and a passion for welfare, I thought working for Orchid would be best option. Maybe I alone can't make a very significant difference, but I knew that I would definitely be helping you guys out with starting a new retirement home, and that would definitely boost the level of overall welfare in this country. The two listened to my story very closely, but then... I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, aren't I? I was getting embarrassed and thought that it was unfair for the other candidates who were applying to work at this retire home if I continued to talk about my backstory like this.
Don't worry, we'd love to hear more, right, Ron? Yeah, and I'm really glad we hired someone like you to work alongside us.
Thank you, that really means a lot. But I know you guys must be very busy right now, so I'll excuse myself. Please take care of yourselves. I rushed back into my car because I felt tears coming up. Miss Chiyo's smile reminded me of my grandmother, and I couldn't help but get emotional. Their faces don't look alike, but they had a similar aura and vibe. The way they laugh, how they know how to treat others and present themselves. I miss you, Grandma.
Hey, Kyo!
What the?
Why'd you leave without telling me the other day? I didn't even get the chance to say thank you.
Oh, sorry about that. How's your wife doing, by the way?
She's doing well, and thankfully my daughter didn't get a cold from her either. You were a lifesaver, so thank you.
Don't mention it, sir.
But I had something I wanted to give you as a show of gratitude.
Well, I'm just glad your family's alright. That's really all I need.
Nonsense! Atsumi said she wanted to thank you too, so I was wondering if you wanted to grab dinner at my place.
But your wife just got better, right? And it's the end of the year, so you guys must be very busy. I'll take you up on that offer once things settle down in the New Year's.
What? Then I'd just like to give you this for now. I stuffed a bunch of snacks in this big bag.
Wait, but how'd you get so many snacks into this bag?
But anyway, I'll see you next year. You're gonna come eat dinner with us, alright?
Yes, sir. Have a good year. And so we finally entered January, and I headed to the office for the first time that year. This was the day that the selections for the job opening at that retirement home were supposed to be announced.
Alright, I'd like to announce the selection that we made for the job openings for the new retirement home. The following employees will be inaugural members of our new welfare department. First up, Sasaki.
Mr. Aaron started calling out a bunch of names, and about 10 or so names in, he said this.
And last but not least, Kiyoshi Atsuho. I consider your preferences, experiences, and synergy. I think we assembled the best team possible. And we're gonna have an orientation meeting this afternoon, so please check your emails for details on that. That's it for the meeting, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Sir,
What's up, Kyo?
are you sure you want me on the team?
Oh, of course I do. You're the person who I wanted on the team the most.
But I feel like I kinda cheated, since I drove you and your grandmother-in-law to your place.
Oh, what? That's completely unrelated to this. Besides, the goodie bag canceled that out already.
Then why? I'm the newest employee here. There's more people deserving of…
Kyo, listen. The most important thing when you're working in a welfare industry is how much you care. The members I selected all deeply care about welfare and helping the elderly. It's not just you, too. All these people have a lot of motivation and want to make sure this project succeeds. So I want you to share some of that passion and you have with the others at this orientation meeting.
At the orientation meeting, I was able to tell that everyone there was really passionate about welfare. A lot of them came from similar backgrounds as me, some of them had experience working in the welfare industry, and joined this company specifically to work on this project. They all wanted to make the welfare industry better, and they were willing to do anything to achieve that goal. The CEO was right. I finally felt like this was the best team possible, and I felt really good about where this project was headed.
Alright, first up, we've got to build the land for the retirement home to be on. I've got a few options listed up already, and I want Ruin and Kyo to help me in the scouting out of these locations. We can go to half of the locations on the 9th, and we'll ask the others to go to the other half on the 10th.
Yes, sir. And so we headed to the Chara real estate to scout for potential sites. That's when we saw someone unexpected.
Welcome. You must be Mr. Suzuki. We were expecting you.
Excuse me, but who are you? I thought Miss Sato was gonna take us around today.
I'm very sorry, sir. Satu is away at the moment. My name is Henbara, and I'll be your agent today.
What the hell? Why in the world is she here? Well, I shouldn't be surprised if she was fired from her old job, but why would she be here of all places? When she saw me, she frowned. She must have recognized me.
All right, I'll show you around, sir.
Well, could you show us all around? I want to hear their thoughts on this matter too, especially Kyo's thoughts.
But sir…
Are you sure you want to be giving this person that much responsibility? He still seems young and not that competent.
Miss Hanbara had a grin on her face as she spit out those words. God, I did not miss her at all. She always used to tell me how I was useless and that I was replaceable. Working for her was one of the most unpleasant experiences in my life. That's when Mrs. Ruron handed me her handkerchief.
Are you alright? You're sweating like crazy.
I'm sorry.
See? It looks like he doesn't feel very well. Let's just leave him here. He can stay here and wait on that couch over there.
Yeah, I think that would be for the best.
Kyo?
And I don't want to be in the same room as her. She was yelling at an elderly woman on the side of the road because she was walking too slow. That's when Miss Hambara started to freak out. Why did she think that I wasn't going to expose her like this? But Miss Hambara wasn't done. She was too cunning to let me get the best of her like this.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. Could you stop accusing me of things I didn't do? Do you have any evidence?
We can just take a photo of you and send it to Miss Chio. The person you yelled at the other day was the man's grandmother-in-law. Miss Himbaru was shocked to hear this, and as she processed this news, she seemed to be growing sick. The CEO and his sister were starting to understand what was going on.
This isn't what it seems like. I swear.
Yes, it is. You haven't changed at all, have you? You've always been like this. You blame others for your mistakes and lied to people to get their signatures. You made unsuspecting clients sign on to unnecessary contracts and acted like you were a good saleswoman.
Wait, don't tell me. You're...
I can't believe you didn't recognize me up until now. I worked with you for years. You don't trust others like human beings, do you? Sir, I don't know about you, but I don't think that we should buy anything from this person. If you're gonna buy the land from her, then I'm gonna resign from my position. By the time I was finished, I was yelling at the top of my lungs. Whoops. I should have controlled myself, but I couldn't. I was at my breaking point.
You're right, I'm not buying anything from her. Chara Real Estate is a good company, but I can't believe they hired someone like you.
Wait a minute, please. You have to hear me out.
I can't. I want to talk to Mr. Sato.
That's when the CEO called Mr. Sato his original agent. A few minutes later, he came running out from the back and apologized to us. Apparently, Miss Hambara was still new here and was getting trained by Mr. Sato. Mr. Sato was supposed to show us around, but then Miss Hambara hijacked the appointment, thinking that she'd be able to land a deal and secure a full-time position at the company. Miss Hambara ended up getting fired, and we bought a new plot of land for the retirement home for Miss Sato. Well, we sure built an amazing retirement home, didn't we? 2 years have passed since then, and our retirement home was fully operational. When we opened up applications for the facility, the application portal went down because there was so much demand. Now we're talking about constructing a new building to meet this demand. My life has gotten way busier thanks to the success of this facility, and I'm doing my best to keep up every day with the increasing workload. But I know that my work here is helping people, and I'd like to continue giving this job my all to help people like my grandma out more.